Hello and welcome, and thanks for watching. Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous little daisy blanket for baby. We use a double knit yarn and a 4mm hook. All the details of materials used, etc. are in the description below, and I've also put in the details of the 4-row repeat for the daisy. Right, let's get going. For this blanket, you want a starting chain in multiples of 10 plus 7. The first row, we're simply going to make double crochets all the way along, starting in the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over hook, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to do that all the way along. So that's 1 double crochet in each chain all the way along, starting in the third chain from the hook. And I will meet you towards the end of this first row. Coming up to the end of the row, finish with yet another double crochet. So there we are, we've just double crocheted all the way along. For row 2, turn our work. Now I like to make a chainless start. If you prefer to chain 2 and then make a double crochet into that first stitch, that's fine as well. You do whatever you prefer. I just think this gives it a bit of a neater edge. So if you're doing the chainless start, pull up your loop a little, hold it steady with your index finger, and then bring your hook to the front, down, round to the back, insert into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, 2. You can now let go with your finger, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your starting double crochet. And you're going to make another 5 double crochets. So we have 6 double crochets to start this second round. And 6. I'm never going to win any prizes for being speedy at crochet. Right, so we've got our 6. Next, we're going to work on our pattern repeat. So we're going to chain 2, miss 1 stitch, and into the following stitch, we're going to make a double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2 again, miss 1 stitch, and make a double crochet into the following. And then we're going to make another 6 double crochets, 1 each, into the next 6 stitches. Bear with me because I'm not fast. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we are. And that's our repeat. So after you've done your first 6 double crochets to start, you chain 2, skip a stitch, make a double crochet in the next, chain 2, skip a stitch, make a double crochet in the next, and then double crochet another 6 stitches for a total of 7. And then you repeat that all the way along. So we'll do it once more together. So you chain 2, skip a stitch, make a double crochet into the next, chain 2, skip a stitch, make a double crochet into the next, and then make another 6 double crochets, one each into the next 6 stitches for a total of 7 double crochets. Okay, so I've written the repeat, and you can always just jot it down on a wee bit of paper and keep it by you to remind yourself what you're doing. So work to the end of your row and I'll meet you towards the end. Coming up to the end of the row, you've just done your chain 2, skip 1 repeats. You've made you've made a double crochet. Now normally you'd make another 6, but at the end of the row you're just making another 5. So a total of 6 double crochets at the end of the row. Okay, there we are. Now, row 3, turn your work. I'm going to start with a chainless double crochet. Again, if you would rather do the chain 2 and then a double crochet into the first stitch, that's fine. And we're going to make 4 double crochets into each of the first 4 stitches to start this row. And 4. So we've started with 4 double crochets, and then this is our repeat. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to skip 2 stitches, then into the gap make a single crochet, a second single crochet at the top of that double crochet from the previous row, and a third single crochet into that second gap. Then chain 3 again, skip 2 and make 3 double crochets, one each into the next 3 stitches. Okay, and that's going to be your repeat. So we'll do that together once more. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches, into the gap make 1 single crochet, a second single crochet into the top of the double crochet from the row below, a third single crochet into that second gap, then chain 3, skip 2 stitches, then make 3 double crochets, one each into the next 3 stitches. So again, I've written it, the repeat for this row, and just keep working on that repeat all the way to the end, and I'll meet you there. At the end of this row, you've just worked the repeat to this point, whereby you've chained 3, skipped 2, worked 1 double crochet, and now you just double crochet to the end. So that's going to be 4 double crochets. And there we are. That's that row complete. Next, turn your work. And we're going to start again by working 4 double crochets, 1 each into the first 4 stitches. And now our repeat for this row, chain 3, then you see where we made our single crochets in the previous row, you're going to make a single crochet into the first, then you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and make a single crochet into the next. So you're just making that little gap for the centre of our flower, and then you're going to chain 3 again and work it to the top of that first next double crochet and make 3 double crochets, 1 each into those 3 stitches, and that's going to be our repeat for this row. So we'll work that together one more time. Chain 3, go to those 3 single crochets from the row below, a single crochet into the first, chain 1, skip 1, and another single crochet, then chain 3, go to the 3 double crochets from the row below and make 1 double crochet into each. Keep working that repeat, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. At the end of the row, you'll have worked your repeats and done your 3 double crochets, and then you've just got 1 more double crochet to finish off. So at the end of the row, you finish with 4 double crochets. So we've nearly done our flower. So we're just going to pretty much copy this first row of the pattern that we did down here. So turn your work, and we're going to make 6 double crochets, 1 each into the first, well, the first 4 stitches, and then 2 into the gap. I'll just show you. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You work into the 4 from the row below, and then you work another 2 into the gap here. So that's you got your 6 double crochets to begin. Then chain 2. Now, see how we've got our wee gap for the middle of our flower? you're going to make a double crochet into that gap. So hook right into the gap and a double crochet, and then chain 2, and then you're going to work 2 double crochets into the gap for this petal here, and then 1 double crochet into each of these 3 double crochets from the row below, and then 2 double crochets into this petal gap here. And that gives you a total of 7 double crochets. And that's our first, try saying that again, that's the 4th row of our flowers. That's our repeat there. So we'll work the repeat once more together, chain 2, then into that gap for the centre of our flower from the row below, work 1 double crochet, chain 2 again, and then you're going to work 7 double crochets, 2 of them into this gap for the petal here. Hang on, I need some more yarn. So that's 2 double crochets into the gap of this petal, then work 1 double crochet into each of the 3 double crochets from the row below, and then 2 double crochets into the gap of this petal. And on you go. And again, as ever, I'll meet you towards the end of the row. And I've also written out what this repeat is for this row. So if you want, just again, make a wee note of it on a pencil on a bit of paper, and it'll keep you right. And in fact, it's a good idea to just jot down the 4 row repeat for the flowers. Right, meet you at the end of the row. So at the end of the row, you'll have done your repeat for the last 2 petals. You'll have worked your 2 double crochets into the gap for the petal from the row below, your 3 double crochets into the 3 double crochets from the row below, and at the end of the round you just work 1 final double crochet into the last double crochet from the row below. And that's you. And now you've worked your first flower. And I've written down, as I've said, these 4 rows for the pattern for the petal, and I hope you've made a wee note of them, and then when you're making your subsequent flowers you'll be able just to refer back to it. Now in between our flowers we work 2 rounds of double crochet, and obviously when it comes to these 2 petals up here, you've got to work into the gaps to make up the number of stitches. So when you get to the gaps, you're just working 1 double crochet into the gaps. So let's just start our next row and we'll work over our first flower together to show you what I mean. So start your row, either chainless start or chain 2 and work a double crochet. So we're just working 1 double crochet into each stitch from the row below. And I've no doubt that many of you will work a lot quicker than I do. Bear with till I get to the petals. Nearly there. Hurrah! Right, when you get to the petals, you're going to work 1 double crochet into the gap of that petal, 1 double crochet into the top of the double crochet from the row below, and 1 double crochet into the gap for the petal, because remember when we were working the first 2 petals down here, we just skipped 1 stitch, so we just need to make 1 stitch into them now. And that's how you do it. And then just work double crochets into each of the stitches from the row below, and when you get to the gaps, work 1 double crochet into them. Okay, and then for the following row you just do another row of all double crochets, and then repeat your flowers. So you'll work your flower, 2 rows of double crochet, your flower, 2 rows of double crochet, except when you've got your blanket to the length you want it, finish with 1 row of double crochets, and then we'll meet back and we'll discuss options for borders. See you soon. Hello again. So, borders. Now, I'm quite a minimalist, I have to say, and I quite like it borderless, but people have different views, and the wee pink one that I showed you at the start of the video, that's away now, and who I was making that for, they liked it with a bit of a frill. So, options for borders. You can leave it borderless, you can add on any border that you personally like, or you could do the same border that I did for the pink one. So for the pink one that I showed you earlier, all I did was I started off by making a round of single crochet and then a wee round of the frill. So to do that, chain 1 and then working down the side of the row, try saying that again, working down the side of the blanket, you just pick up and single crochet all the way around, doing it evenly. So the way I'm doing it is I always like to pick up a couple of strands anyway. And just space out evenly. So just work all the way around. Obviously when you get to the bottom and the top, you don't have to work out where to put your hook because you've got the stitches there waiting on you. It's really just going down the sides that you want to just work it out. So I will meet you once you've worked the round. See, I'm putting too many loops on there. That's better. What was I saying? Yeah, I'll meet you once you've done this round of single crochets all the way around the edge. What I should have said to you is that when you work down the side, when you get to the bottom where you're joining the bottom edge, work 3 single crochets at the corner. Okay, just like that. and then carry on. Right, see you at the end of the round. Coming up to the last stitch, I'm going to make 2 single crochets into it because I only made 1 single crochet into it at the start, and then I'm going to join with a slip stitch. So there we are, we've got single crochets all the way around and 1 single crochet into each stitch, evenly picking them up down the side, and 3 single crochets into each corner. And then to finish off a second round of our edging, chain 1 and make a single crochet into that stitch. Then chain 2, single crochet into the next stitch, and that's a repeat. Chain 2, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 2, a single crochet into the next stitch, and it gives just that little ruffle. So work that all the way around and I'll meet you towards the end. Coming up to the last stitch, just join and just do one little last one, and then slip stitch to join, and then you would just cut off your end, sew it in, and that's you. That's your little ruffle. Right, so I hope you're going to have a go at making this blanket. It's so pretty. I really love that little daisy flower design. Yeah, so I hope you have a go at making it, and I hope it turns out really well for you. Bye-bye just now.